Alright everybody, hello, welcome back to another Master Ninja Mode walkthrough commentary of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. This one is going to be focused on Chapter 12. So we're back on Ryu pretty much full time for the rest of the playthrough. No more of the Konoichi to really be worrying about and playing, so we got our strong weapons, and we're going to be pretty much finishing up all of our upgrade farming by the end of this chapter. And I'll also share some of my thoughts about like how you can approach your own upgrading routes and stuff like that through the story mode. I'm namely demonstrating that you can upgrade all of your weapons with plenty of levels to spare in the run, which is so nice to have after playing Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 for years, where I was stuck waiting for shops to give me out upgrades. I can only upgrade one weapon at a time. And even if I didn't upgrade the dual swords or the dragon sword, I would always be left with one weapon stuck at level 2. And for my OCD, that just was never fun. So here I flex that we can just upgrade the Kusurai Gamma to level 3. And thus, the only weapons that we don't have upgraded at all are the dragon sword and the dual swords. I don't think you necessarily have to upgrade the dragon sword at all through the run, because you will be getting the level 4 for it pretty soon. But I will demonstrate that it is possible for you to invest points into the Dragon Sword and still upgrade everything else by the time that your Dragon Sword becomes a level 4 weapon. And I would probably go back and actually recommend that you upgrade the dual swords to level 2. They get access to a nice extending combo that can do a lot to shred through boss HPs. And these first few fights are not much to write home about. Charge up your ultimate scythe attacks to kill the pill bugs, absorb their essence manually, create space, mow them down. Make sure you don't get hit by the rockets. Not really too much to talk about early on, but this fight, this is actually one where we can talk about quite a lot of things. There are plenty of chests in here for us to go through and try to manipulate. One of them is a spiritual life here at the dock tower. So because I'm missing some items since I've been investing in actually using my items, we do see that that comes out. And now at this point, I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and flex with the Kusurai Gamma. I am getting shot down. And I would also recommend that you might be thinking, well, why not save that first save statue for after the fight to top up our health and make sure we can manipulate the healing item chest? Well, the moment you walk through those doors and trigger this fight, the way back is barred and you cannot use that save statue. So just use a save statue, make sure you don't have to skip any of these fights, and you'll be fine. There is a Nimpo chest very early on. It might be because it's a Devil's Way mushroom chest, or it just could be a straight Nimpo chest. I'm honestly not entirely sure. So feel free to use up your Nimpo in these fights. I mean, taking down like those 3 guys with the rockets felt pretty effective. And you can see right there, I was able to have Nimpo from a chest to resupply myself. So go ahead, use your Nimpo early on in these fights. That might be a mushroom, that could just be a Nimpo chest. I'm not a discerning eye, and I didn't have really time to document that. But if you're running through with pretty much what I've been talking about with keeping your items up to full, you will get through there. This is a chest where I definitely bungled. So this is either an herbs or a grains of life chest, and I think it might be an herb chest. But yeah, make sure when you're exploring through these areas, don't miss any little bit. I will wander around and be a little bit lost here, just because my live playthrough brain was a little, what do I do? There is another herb of spiritual life on a body here, so stock up there, use that herb. Go to the body first, go to the chest after you go to the body and you're tapped out, and then that would be a very effective way of farming up these items. And there is one more chest behind us that I spaced on, I think, in another playthrough even. But I'm kind of meandering around, double-checking I'm not missing anything. Also like, oh, which way do I go? And I kind of figure out, okay, so this is the way to go. But I feel like there's something I'm missing. So I'm just like double checking everything, and I apologize for the length of time the gameplay will take. Although I think it actually works out. I try to advance forward thinking I'm done, and I slip into the water, and I go, okay, I guess I have to backtrack and go through everything. But it happens for a reason, because there is a Life of the Gods chest here for us to pick up on the water scaffolding. And in this fight in the original Ninja Gaiden 2 was a lot different. If you walked in front of these light towers, that's how you would like alert the enemies. So it was kind of like a stealth section, but you would fight these like flying mechs that would attack you on water. It was pretty frustrating and annoying. And this is the Life of the Gods chest that I almost missed. So So make sure that you pick that up to increase your maximum HP once you collect the entire set. Hopefully the gameplay looks good as well. I recorded this on my gaming laptop as opposed to my PC, so be a little bit different, but I'm at home today, and by the time I get through making the videos for these couple of levels that you're about to see, I will be back on my desktop to finish it up. Now, this is a full item chest. We're at 59, then we went up to 10, so I'm pretty sure that's a Grains of Life chest. There used to be like some item keyway thing here for us to open up stuff, but now the level is just opened up. I'm curious to see if Team Ninja will restore some of those key item functionalities just to give the world, you know, I don't know, like an extra feel to it. Because right now it does feel like you do play through a level, and that's it. It's just there's no flavor text to it at all. It's not that important. Again, I would prefer a lot of other things. I do see some screen tearing in this section here. Apologies for that. Take that guy down real quick. You can manipulate this chest item as well. Seems to be like it was a Grain of Life. And I'm double checking, thinking about what weapon I want to use in the upcoming fight, because we have some more pill bugs. I decided to show off, hey, you can use the Tonfas as well. They are another choice of weapon for you. The last hit will be the one that kills quite a few, but as you might notice, it's just not as effective as dear old Clip Scythe. I get a little lucky with my charge right here, and a rip right on through, killing a couple of them. And again, you don't really have to stress too much about like chaining the essence together. I would manually absorb it just like this, so you get the full item value out of it. Because again, like managing your essence to absorb your ultimate technique kills to increase the amount of cash that you have is going to be incredibly important to making sure that you can afford all of the upgrades as soon as you want them, as well as set you up for a very healthy late game where you can basically just spend every last extra penny of essence on items. So we get to the tightrope here. We got a couple of guys with rockets to kill. And then this is I can't believe I forgot about this Crystal Skull. I was like, hold up, I forgot about this one? Like, the camera even panned and everything. I must have looked away when I crossed the rope in my first playthrough, but yeah, just come over here if you haven't got this Crystal Skull yet. As you can see, the game is giving me a little bit of issue actually picking it up, and I was like, what the hell is this? Come on, man. And there's another shop right here. So you can see that even though like we upgraded a weapon to level 3 at the very start of this mission, we can already upgrade a weapon to level 2. And this is where I'm like, you know what? Let's just fast track my upgrades here and really flex, because I was curious to see at what chapter of the story mode could I get my entire weapon arsenal completely upgraded. And you don't have to do that. There are definitely some weapons that are not as good as the others. The Kusurai Gama, it is pretty unique, but with its weaker ultimate skill, it just doesn't really pack the same punch as a weapon like the 360 Staff ultimate technique, or the Tonfas, or even the Eclipse Scythe. And so you can kind of like skip some of the weapons. Like I think the Kusurai Gama and the Vigorian Flail are probably the first weapons that come to my own personal mind that I wouldn't really want to touch in like a focused playthrough. Whereas I think you can be just fine playing with like the dual katanas, the Dragon Sword, Falcon Talons, Staff, Eclipse Scythe, Tonfa. Those weapons I think you can definitely get away with an entire playthrough using. Some more easily than others, and at this point in the game, I'm just kind of swapping around between weapons like, what do I want to kill these guys with? And I hope that's the same feeling that all of you watching this, and maybe this is the first time you've played a Ninja Gaiden game, if you've kind of like watched this guide and have learned the principles of playing, or have you seen other YouTube commentators, YouTube content creators, who have created videos about Ninja Gaiden. Oh, here's how to play. Here's how you approach the game, the main strategy for it. I hope it's something that, you know, lets you go, hold up, I was able to learn this skill and actually complete these harder difficulties. I do have these two guys who are dead, to rights anyway. So I'm desperately trying to milk them. And I'm like, you know what? I'll just Eclipse Scythe. Let's not mess with range. There's a statue right here. They're no threat to me. They're not going to run me down because they're waddling with their delimbed state. And so I'll take advantage of that and just farm them for ultimate essence. So we'll kick this open. It is a Ghost Fist chest. quickly shred through them. Save. And these sequence of fights I died a few times at, and so I decided to just cut through that because I'm trying to expedite how quickly you can get through these videos. And when I'm not doing a live commentary like I do when I normally play, I don't think it's just as interesting to watch. So Pillbugs, Eclipse Scythe Ultimate Technique, 360 Staff Ultimate Technique. I would recommend like the Endless Fang here for its larger AoE on its level 2 charge. The Lunar Staff's 360 kind of just goes off into like a big, you know, singular striking section. But maybe it's just classic Ultimate Technique. Might also work too. It ends with a big circular fire attack. Whatever big AoE Ultimate Technique that you want to use here to kill the bugs, go ahead and do that. Jump down here. For those who played the original Ninja Gaiden 2, you might be aware that they did cut out the underground worm fight, which I played that fight. It was garbage. It was awful. It does not need to exist. We do not need that one back. That can be some cut content that we just simply don't need. It was not a good fight, especially on Master Ninja mode. The guide that I remember walking, which was Rhyme's Master Ninja mode walkthrough commentary, he legit spent 20 minutes fighting the boss, just standing in a spot, charging ultimate techniques to hit it as it passed by, because he just was not going to invest any more resources or time into trying to kill it faster or anything like that, and that was just unfun to play and watch. So that was the guy that actually got me interested in playing this series of games and even make my guides on YouTube 16, 14 years ago. Crazy to think of that. This is where we're at now. And yeah, I use the Tonfas here for this fight. We see that we encounter the like chainsaw cannonball zombies. Now, they can be pretty dangerous if they do hit you. They do a lot of damage. So make sure that you stay pretty far away from them. I think the Tonfas are a great one to go take them out with because they have so many guaranteed to limb points. You can always 360 staff, ultimate technique them as well. Any weapon that just gives you a guaranteed to limb, you can't go wrong with. And I'm seeing that this recording had quite a bit more screen tearing, it seems like, and I think some of that was just changes I made to my rendering settings on my laptop when I was recording. Not my rendering, just my recording settings. Two katanas also work. They are pretty big and slow, so you can farm them up with ultimate technique kills. They do give you quite a bit of essence. And we simply proceed forward. Whenever you see like those red chain barriers, just know that you can always backtrack. And this is where I make a big guffaw here. I accidentally jump into the water. I'm like, this is not where I want to be. The fish will like bite you, grab you, eat you alive. So you kind of are stuck with trying to deal with them and the zombies across the way. I think what I would recommend here, actually, because I know that there's a Devil's Way mushroom up ahead. Art of the Void. Shoot those 2 zombies dead. Shoot one of them dead. Arrow down the other guy until he's not firing cannonballs at you anymore. And then stand here and hold L2, R2 and just kill fish for a little bit. This is the monotony that ranged combat is in Ninja Gaiden 2 Black and Sigma 2. Again, I would like to see the ranged combat system reworked in the patch that is coming out for Ninja Gaiden 2 Black that Team Ninja said they were doing, but we will see what they do, and we'll see if I actually have to go through and remake the guide, as it were, to address some of the changes that could be coming through this game. So, but yeah, once you kill all the fish, very simple to run across. You can see that these fiends, they can live without their head. And I'm seeing the item there, and I'm pretty sure I'm like, okay, there's a body there. This is the Devil's Way mushroom. Yes, so drop a Void Nimpo on those 2 chainsaw fiends. Kill them dead that way so you can save yourself some time and stress. You have a free Nimpo there. You might as well use it. If you didn't use one in that fight... Wait, was that a chest right there? I think I missed a chest over to that right space. There might be a chest underwater there for y'all to check out. I don't think it's a permanent upgrade item. It's probably just a grains or something like that, but don't miss it like I did. And if there's not one there, just, yeah, ignore me. So here I had to think a bit. I'm like, this next fight, can I do it and not die? And I decided that I can. I'm going to equip the Blade Nimpo to set myself up. And you can see that we're almost able, excuse me, to upgrade a weapon to level 2 again. If you're feeling nervous about this fight and you want to save that statue, you can backtrack to that one where we started at when we took on the first fight with the worms in the water. You can backtrack there, use that save statue, and then save this statue's full health heal for after this fight. Again, I'm just making sure I can set up all kinds of chest manipulations. The one chest that we saw in front of the Devil's Mushroom body is actually a Jewel of the Demon Seal. So it's a Nimpo upgrade, which at this point you could use on the Art of the Phoenix. And I feel like they added another one of those items to this version of the game because I have a memory of never being able to upgrade all of my Nimpo to level 3 in Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, but now I'm able to do it in Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. So I'm not entirely sure. I have to compare those versions to each other a lot more directly. Sticking with the Tonfas because this is the weapon that I like to use to kill our chainsaw cannonball boys. Those are the dangerous enemies here, not necessarily the pill bugs. But the problem with the Tonfas, they have a little bit of ADHD, and so they will lock on and target other enemies. But it's not too big of a deal. You can try and influence their direction, I think, by holding the analog stick. At least I'm suffering from a placebo effect, or it's a real thing. And at this point, I'm like, okay, bugs gotta go. I highly recommend firing bows and arrows at the chainsaw zombies. Not only is that a ranged weapon that would stagger them when they do get hit, it does have a chance to delimb them, as you saw there. But anyways, we got through the fight. I used an Nimpo, so I'm going to go ahead and restock there. Run over here, pick up the Devil's Way Mushroom, and then this is the Jewel of the Demon Seal that I mentioned. And then be sure to check underneath the water. I think that chest down there is like a Grains of Spiritual Life. I don't think it's a Life of the Gods. I'm actually going to just peep that real quick. Well, I was only able to really look up the IGN walkthrough. They don't mention a chest being in the water where I thought I saw one, so maybe I'm tripping. Game Rant didn't have an article out for this chapter at this time of recording, but alas, here we are. Anyways, now, you can see that we're on the cusp of being able to upgrade some of our weapons, but this is why we held on to a Talisman of Rebirth for a hot minute. This chest has a Talisman of Rebirth in it, so if you are holding on to that item, you get the full essence for it. We were at like 28, now we're at 63. Or we were at 23, and then we got 63. And so now I'm able to fully afford a level 3 weapon upgrade and do a level 2 upgrade on top of it. We are into chapter 12, and we just have one final weapon to upgrade to level 3, and it's the Dragon Sword in this playthrough for myself. We are going to cut ahead a little bit. I took on these fights. They were a little tricky for me because I think they actually removed a save statue from an upcoming encounter. So there's a stretch of fights, and they do get a little bit difficult. And for the interest in being a little more concise with this set of walkthrough videos, since I'm doing them in post, and if I were to do commentary over the entire video, it means I would have to double my time invested in making the videos themselves, because I'd have to sit here for like the unedited 45, 50-minute playthrough and talk about stuff and be like, okay, I know I die in this fight, but where? So again, I'm just trying to make this content a little more palpable, a little more enjoyable to watch, as it were. But thank you all for commenting and dropping likes and other various support for the series of videos. I do genuinely appreciate it. It's been fun to get back into this game series again. And I'm excited to see what Ninja Gaiden 4 is going to give for us as well, and expect video content on that in my free time. So once again, just setting up some kills here. I'm trying to prioritize the chainsaw boys, just because they are a much higher threat. You know, with the bazooka on their left arms, they can hit me from afar, just like that. And they do quite a bit of lasting damage. The pill bugs, I can kind of skirt around. They're, you know, everybody. Nice thing is, all these enemies are slow. It's the range attacks that are the scary thing. Letting go of the ultimate technique charge there, just to make sure I didn't get buzzsawed through. But the problem with the terrain and the Tonfas here is that Ryu kind of doesn't advance forward as much as he could, because he gets caught on that terrain. So it is a little unfortunate, and sometimes you will have like the Tonfa ultimates fizzle out. You can go ahead and use any ultimate technique that you like here. The 360 staff would kind of be the best of both worlds with its enormous range and high delim rate, so you can take these guys out with it pretty easily. In fact, in the upcoming fight after this one, you will see that I switched to that weapon. Also worth noting that there is a crystal skull in the area. I'll try to point it out once it's on video. But at that river behind us, you will see it across the riverbank in the hand of the ninja. I don't think I run to it here. Yeah, I think I've shown it off in like another gameplay clip, and I just didn't run to it here. Anyways, I'm looking here because I'm like, my memory tells me there was a Earth Dragon statue here. Like, there was a save point right here to top off my health and take on this final fight. But not in Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. And maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe I'm just remembering something that isn't there. A little bit of a Mandela effect or something. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Anyways, this fight, after taking it on a couple of times, I just said, you know what? Screw it. Let's bring back Old Faithful, Old Reliable. I got a little spooked by that guy's singular attack. I'm wary of the worm spitting acid at me as well, so I'm just continually releasing attacks a little bit early, using level 1 ultimate techniques to kill these foes. And you'll get an example here of how effective this weapon is against the chainsaw guys. As you can see, it takes off an arm and their head, so they die from the level 1 360 UT. And I was like, wow, it was that easy. Just switch to the staff. Thus leads to the Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 boss of the level, the Dark Dragon, which looked way cooler in the old version. It had like this like nice dark purple skin. Here just blends into the environment like a little bit too much. Like, I would love to see the scales look black against this background. Anyways, I'm showing off the dual swords combo here. So it does a lot of damage, shredding through boss HP, as you can see. It's tilt forward, do the heavy attack. You'll press it again in air when you land. After you upgrade the dragon swords, the dual swords, to level 2, then you'll be able to do a follow-up attack on the ground. The 360 for the attack also has quite a bit of iframes. I fought the dragon for like 20 minutes or something like that, experimenting with a lot of different methods here. I left in a few just to give you an idea of like what the boss fight can look like, right? He rears up on his hind legs, drops him down. He's doing like this homing attack. That attack is one that you have to be very careful of when he jumps up in the air and then immediately comes back down. The way that you avoid that is just run away, get away from him. And I cut through a couple of other playthroughs and attempts and learning things while fighting him, trying to show you a few different openings. He can be pretty passive, not really do much to you. Otherwise, he can like fly up into the air and fly at you with like a fire trail on the ground. And as you can see, like that slam attack did a number on me from time to time. But this playthrough will be the one where I take him out, I'm pretty sure. So once again, going with the dual blades, showing you like the boss shredding capabilities. Whenever you see the dragon go up, just dash away. There's that flying attack that I mentioned before. He has the fire breath attack to stay out of its way. I did get smushed right there, which is a little unlucky. He has some tail swipe attacks. You should be on the lookout for. Blocking those or disengaging by dash and jumping away just like that will do you fine. And here, you know, I'm just being wary. There's the homing pillar attack. Right, and then if you, as long as you end your strings and you don't overextend, you can pretty consistently get away from that pound attack, as you can see here. You'll get him down to the threshold, then you'll be able to do an OT technique and get rid of his tail, which means he's a lot more vulnerable in his hindquarters because he's not able to swing a tail at you. There, I overextended just one more time, actually. Yeah, I remember that now. So just be, you know, you might have the same little, oh, just let the Beyblades rip kind of brain disease I had when fighting this guy, but, you know, take your guaranteed punish. This did a lot of damage, as you can see. So, at any given moment, if you want to upgrade the swords at any moment through your playthrough and use this combo for your boss killing technique, there's some boss fights where it is pretty effective. Dark Dragon being one of them. I had a recommendation for it with the Aqua Dragon. There's some more advanced stuff you can do as well using Shuriken Cancel. I fat-fingered a Nimpo here, but it's kind of fine. It gave me iframes through it, so not the end of the world. Playing Chapter Challenge mode, I think as long as you have 3 Nimpo up, you get the full points for it anyway, so tail swipe, keeping me down and back. Goes for the flying attack. Not really sure what the hitbox on that is, but, you know, wasn't really touched. Saw that the dragon was about at that health threshold, so waited out or forced the issue. Get the OT right here. They do have some iframes before we are able to come back in. I'm not going into that pillar of fire just yet. Get close enough, do the tilt attack, and voila. rinse and repeat. You will kill the Dark Dragon and get through Chapter 12, Heart of Darkness. So thank y'all for watching. I will be seeing y'all in the next video, which is Chapter 13, which is a pretty fun chapter, I would argue, overall. So see y'all then.